Welcome back, everyone, to BraveTV. This is a special series that we are running this fall. It has been a three-part series. If you recall, we are doing this series called The Past, the Present, and the Future. So in previous episodes, our first episode, when we covered the past, please, if you haven't watched it already, you can go back and enjoy a walk down memory lane all the way back to the very beginning of This Is My Brave, how it came about, to Jen, how Anne Marie and Jen worked together to launch this incredible organization. And then in our second episode, we talked about the present, where we are today in terms of what the pandemic has offered us in terms of time away from the stage, which initially felt hard and scary, but in fact turned into a really incredible opportunity for us to do some reflection on what we've done as an organization, where we are now, and where we want to go in the future. And through that work, we were able to develop our theory of change. We were able to think about scaling up our show production for seasons to come in the future when we are able to return live to the stage. And so that gives us now the opportunity to talk about, having laid that groundwork, what the future holds for This Is My Brave. I didn't say at the beginning, but I will say now that I am Erin Gallagher, Program Manager of This Is My Brave. I'm joined today by Katie Grana, who's also a Program Manager at This Is My Brave, and of course, our esteemed co-founder and Executive Director, Jennifer Marshall of This Is My Brave. So here we are, ladies, in this moment together, recording early November to document this new chapter that we're about to embark on. So, Jen,
yes,
others may have heard.
I'm already crying.
No, don't cry yet. Don't cry at all. It's not sad. So we're taking this episode to be able to share that at the end of 2021, I will be stepping down as Executive Director. It's time for some fresh new leadership, and Erin Gallagher will be taking over as Executive Director starting January 2022. So we are super excited to make this announcement. I couldn't be more proud of these two ladies standing by me virtually. We have had such a remarkable couple of years together, and I want to emphasize that I am not going anywhere. I am going to be here supporting and ensuring a smooth transition, because this organization is my heart. You know, it's been a part of my everyday for the past 8.5 years, it feels like. So, but the time has gone by fast and has been just extraordinary. I don't know. I've met so many incredible people, and the Brave family is a huge piece of my heart. So this is a special time for This Is My Brave. And I want to also emphasize that the organization has so many strengths. You know, the support we receive from donors and funders and individuals who share their stories through our platform, through the blog, and then like I said, the Brave community of alumni and producers and volunteers. So it's a monumental time, but it's going to be great. And I'm super excited for the future of this organization. We have a bunch of shows in production for next year when we can safely, hopefully, return to the stage. We've been anxiously awaiting the day to get back on stage.
And before we start previewing the plans we have in place for the future, will you tell us what your plans are for the future for Jennifer Marshall, Joe Citizen, always the founder of This Is My Brave, but what will be your plans in the new year?
Well, I've lived with type 1 bipolar disorder since the age of 26. And ever since I found solid, stable recovery, which was 5 years into my diagnosis, I've wanted to write a book. I've had a dream of writing a book. And it just so happened that This Is My Brave came first and became kind of like my third child. And, nurturing that and growing it took a lot of time and energy. And I kept writing, but little by little, I never made any solid progress on a book. Well, I have some chapters actually. But
Mhm.
I feel the time is right for me to take this step away from the organization to start this new chapter and really focus on what's it like to be a full-time writer. Um, and also I would like to speak on the topic of talking to our kids early and often from an early age about mental health because of my most recent, not my most recent episode, which was actually back in September, but before that when Anne-Marie passed away and I had a manic episode and the kids saw it, my kids saw it. And, having gone through that as a family, I feel like I have a message to share with the world and with other families.
No, she's frozen.
Uh-oh.
We
Oh, there
froze for a minute. We
Okay.
froze. For a minute. But what I was saying is, I just feel like I have this message to share with the world that it's okay to talk to your kids early and often about mental illness, mental health, mental wellness. I feel like every person is going to deal with some issue of their mental health at some time in their life. So why aren't we talking to our kids from kindergarten? Like we shouldn't be afraid of that. So that's kind of what I'm setting out to do come January. But always here for you ladies and always here for the Brave community to support.
I want to step back to June for a second when
Mm.
this decision was first announced. So Jen, can you talk a little bit about how just the timing? So yeah, we've known about this since June. It's been an emotional roller coaster for all of us and will continue to be, I'm sure. But yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like coming up with the decision to transition out and telling us and the
Yeah.
board and everything.
Yeah, it has been an emotional roller coaster. And I was kind of warned by a few executive directors who I know personally who have gone through the transition and what their advice has been, it is an emotional journey you're going to all go on. So, but yeah, I decided over the summer, I just felt like we all had worked so hard, the three of us, on the theory of change work, which really took place end of 2020, beginning of 2021. And just coming to that realization of knowing I've always known in my heart the difference it makes for people to be a part of our program. And I've seen these alumni, change over the years and pursue their dreams. And part of me, always thought, well, I think This Is My Brave had a little part to do with that, a little role in that. And so we went through the theory of change and we did find out that a lot of people said, yes, it did. It gave them confidence. It gave them the feeling of feeling valued and appreciated. And so having that knowledge and then applying it and creating Brave Academy, when we did that, I saw the opportunity as, Katie and Erin can take this and run with it and take this, experience, this Brave experience to cities and states all across the country. Remember when you first started, Katie, you said, I want Brave to be in every single state.
Yeah, we had a 50
You made a
state goal.
checklist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
I
all
think
checked off yet.
But I think with Brave Academy, there's so much greater of a chance that we will get to every state and states that need us that don't even know they need us yet, So it was hard to tell you guys and we all cried and I believe me, I've had, I had some back and forth moments, but it's just become more and more real and it's the right choice. And I know that you guys are ready to inherit this this work. You've been doing it for 2 years amazingly. So
mean, I don't know if we'll ever be ready, but we're up for the challenge.
Well, we also have a really great board of committed, really skilled professionals who bring a lot of wisdom to the table. So we're working together to make sure that, that there is a smooth transition, which I think I really appreciate. I appreciate the dedication of everybody all the way around to making this work, and to envisioning what the future could look like.
Because we've also kind of, I'm sorry, Erin, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it was okay. It was going to be small. And go ahead, Katie.
I was just going to say that, like, we've had so many, especially in June and when this all first came about, we had a lot of heart-to-hearts and hard conversations. I'm going to cry again. About how, Jen started this movement, and we all have our own stories that brought us to it. Mm-hmm. And that at the end of the day, we're so lucky that, Jen, you're such a go-getter, and that you fought and made these things happen to become a reality. But at the end of the day, the organization belongs to everyone. It's everyone's stories.
100,000,000%, Katie. I've always said that from the beginning, from when Anne-Marie and I were standing on that stage at the first show, and she said, we just created the space. And if there weren't people who came forward to participate in the shows, to take on the roles of running the organization, the way people tell us constantly, which I am so proud of, is they say, wow, you guys are so tiny, but you do so much. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes I work my team to death, but when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. I don't know. That's how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel.
Well, when you can see the way that it impacts people's lives, and you hear people tell you that it has, I mean, the testimonies that we've heard, person to person, and just the way that Brave alum write about us and talk about us. And really, when I say us, I'm just jumping on the bandwagon. I mean, a lot of this work we know was done by many people that predated Katie and me. And so that is not to take away from their efforts. This has been, you're right, Katie, just a huge effort. But the Brave alumni, if they never had, well, I mean, there was the invitation, right? The offer to come join us on stage. But they had to summon something within them to make this whole thing work. There's two sides to this coin. So we couldn't do it without just the ordinary people who stepped forward and were brave enough to say their stories. And I think that they've found that it's probably turned out far better than they ever imagined, which is what's so magic about This Is My Brave, is there is this secret sauce, and that theory of change helped us to define what that was. But
in every show, no matter how far in the weeds we are with something, with our day-to-day work, or the email backup or something, you go to a live show, or even now the virtual ones, and you're reminded. I mean, there's daily conversations and reminders that remind us why we do what we do. But
brave conversations.
Yeah, the brave conversations that we have. Yeah. But the shows are just so, I'll never stop being amazed by them. I won't.
Me neither. And you wanted me to talk about the last show we did. So we have a show. Well, the last show we will have done this year, we're pre-recording this episode. So the last show we will have done will be Stories from the APITA Community, a virtual performance, which we know is going to be amazing.
It's incredible.
It is.
So if you missed it on Monday, I'm pretending like this is already past. If you missed it on Monday the 15th, it's going to be on YouTube, and I would most definitely recommend going to see it. It's really, what an amazing cast, and thoughtful people, and really just talented in the way that they share their story. Really great.
Watch it and share it with a friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that will have been our last show of 2021, but the last live performance show we did, we were fortunate to be able to all
Oh,
be.
only halfway. The last live one that you went to. We
Oh,
had
yeah,
a surprise show at Boston University.
Yes,
Thanks
that's
to
true.
you. We
yes.
love you.
I missed that one due to
Yeah.
having to be home with the kids off
Yeah.
school, but I heard it was incredible. So thank you to our college kids out there sharing their stories again. But yeah, the last one that I attended live was a challenge for me, I have to admit. And I think if people follow my Instagram, they will have seen. In fact, I was wearing the same shirt in the picture. I posted about it. I did have a bit of a relapse and had a manic episode. So I was struggling a little bit, but I struggled through it, which I know now I shouldn't be. I should be reaching out more for help. So, but it still blew me away. And I remember every moment and the feeling of being back on stage. And we were fortunate to be able to fly in 6 of our brave teens from across the country. We all wore our masks. We were very safe. But they performed live at Flores United Methodist Restoration Church in Herndon. And you guys, it was flawless. It was exactly like the very first show. Just so touching and so moving. And oh, by the end I was in tears. So the end I walked over. Did I do closing remarks, or the 3 of us? I'm trying to remember. I walked over to Ben and I started crying.
Erin did closing remarks. There was one point that the 3 of us were all holding hands, and I don't even remember what was going on. But
I do remember that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of emotions.
There were a lot of emotions.
Oh gosh, Katie.
But yeah, then you, after probably when they were when the band was playing our song, I think that's when you went over to Ben.
Yeah, and my kids were there in the front row. Ben and my kids were in the front row. All of my best girlfriends that supported the Kickstarter, the very first This Is My Brave, got us off the ground, and they were all there, and it was magic. So never forget. I mean, I will just carry those moments with me.
That show, by the way, also available on YouTube at this point. So really worth watching too. So it is an encore performance, but there were some new pieces shared that if you partook in the National Teen Show in May, some of the performers were back with us, but chose different pieces to perform at this encore presentation. So
I was so impressed with these kids. Oh my gosh. It's been such a joy to get to know them over the past 2 years and see them grow and thriving. And they are the subject of, they're in the podcast that we're doing. So if you haven't checked out Brave Takes, check it out and hear those stories from these teens.
Yeah. And they'll also, some of them, be featured in the documentary that's due to come out next spring.
After we apply to festivals and hopefully get in a lot of festivals.
Get an award or 2, right?
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah. So, we just have the big shoes to fill. Some people say when a moment like this happens that we're passing the baton from one leader to the next. We like to say that we're passing the mic from one leader to the next. So
I could pass the mic, I would, but I don't have my podcast.
But I really, of course, humbly accept the role and head into the new year knowing full well that I have very big shoes to fill and I can't fill them all on my own. So that is why I'm grateful to have Katie by my side and the board together. We're going to do this and we're going to take This Is My Brave out into more communities so that it can be seen by more people, so that transformation that we seek in our storytellers and in our audience members can take place at a more rapid pace. We want more people to have this experience so that they can know the hope and seek the help that they need, or offer hope and help to somebody they know and love who is in need of it. So we're just so eager to get back to the stage and do this thing that we're so good at and has already changed so many lives, so that we can continue to do that work. So I want to highlight that coming up, we have a few shows in the spring. We have a college edition that will be going off at the USF campus. It's a one USF production because there are multiple campuses. That will feature
University of South Florida.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Will feature college students. Obviously it's a college edition. And then we do have maybe for the 4th year running at this point, this is My Brave the Show in New Hampshire that is put on by Riverbend Community Mental Health. And they're located in Concord, New Hampshire. Concord.
Concord, yes.
Sorry, I said it wrong. Concord, New Hampshire. There's a couple others that are potentially in the works for the spring. So stay tuned for those potential additions. But then in the fall, we have scheduled a good chunk, and I'm going to read them off in alphabetical order. So no preference to any particular show. They're coming in alphabetical order. So we have sketched out for the fall. We have Charlottesville, Virginia, DeKalb, Illinois, Denver, Colorado, Eagle County, Colorado, Eustis, Lake County, Florida, Fort Collins, Colorado, Greenville, South Carolina, Los Angeles, California, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, South Florida, which is the Miami-Dade area, and a recent interesting addition, I think, is a special edition, Stories from the Deaf Community, that hope maybe will be a hybrid production, but that'll be that'll take place in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah. So we have.
I'm super excited about the lineup. There are a couple of cities in there that I may do some travel to see family and see a Brave time. So
yeah, we're really infiltrating Colorado and Florida next year.
Yeah, right. If we could get the same level of presence and saturation in other markets, that would be incredible.
Right.
And I'll get to go see Val for Los Angeles, hopefully get to see that show and stay a few days with Val.
Maybe do a depressed cake shop at that show, whatever.
I know that Philly, she's got big plans to do a depressed cake shop there. That she was one of the shows that had to get bumped out of fall 2020. And so her wheels were turning. That's Elise in Philadelphia. Her wheels were turning big time for that show. And then everything just had to kind of stop. So here we are getting to put it back on. And she's, definitely put a great team together, and they're going to do good work there. So
we should note that if anyone's watching this and they're interested in putting on a Brave show in the future, we will, I'm guessing Katie and Erin will be launching new producer interest meetings again in January, where they'll share with you what's involved in putting a team together, and then what's also involved a little bit in Brave Academy. So we hope you'll check that out and send us a message if you're interested in the future. This is My Brave show. We want to hear from you.
And we are now scheduling for spring 2023, which sounds crazy how far away it is, but there is, once you get started planning a show, that'll go really fast for you. It'll all of a sudden not seem like the amount of time that you need. So.
So much good stuff in the works. I mean, and there's even more behind the scenes, the work we do with our research team, researching the impact of our programming. So let's
do a plug for Brave Ambassadors. So our really exciting program where we've reached out to college students. Katie, you can go ahead and give the pitch for Brave Ambassadors, because it's going so well, and so it can only get better the more people who might be interested. So let's get some folks reaching out. Tell us about it.
Yeah, and to my current Brave Ambassadors, I apologize if things have been moving slowly. We've had a lot going on, but So Brave Ambassadors is open to all college students across the country. Really, I'm open to international. We do have my friend Sally from Switzerland, and I'm really excited about that. But it's to start bringing a Brave presence to college campuses and to college students. It's a grassroots program that will be in the hands of college students of what they need and what they want to pursue in terms of mental health advocacy and awareness on their college campuses. It's really cool. It's turned into this multi-state, like, I don't want to say support group, like everyone is friends, and people say, I didn't have anyone to talk to about these things until I joined this. And it's incredible to watch. So this initial group that we have, they're really special to me, but we want to grow and expand, and there will be different activities and trainings and things made available. So if you are a college student or you know one, please reach out. You can find it on the website. And I'm also it's not a big time commitment. I want this to be beneficial for people's mental health and for you to be able to make it what you want it to be, and not be another stressful commitment that you have to worry about on a regular basis. So,
But you get a free t-shirt.
Opportunity. What did you say? Oh, you get a t-shirt.
T-shirt, stickers.
Yeah. Stickers, yeah. And it is an opportunity, if it is something that you're interested in, to be kind of get in at the ground level and be a part of shaping what the program can look like in the future. So we want to hear from college students, and I say college kids, but not every student who's joined us is in the 18 to 22, 24 category. We do have other students, anybody who's enrolled in college, even post
Graduate.
Thank you. Lost that
Or
word.
non-traditional students.
Non-traditional students that we have kids. We have individuals who are on campus. We have individuals who are in school remotely. So there's options. Katie, sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I'm very accepting of the college life. Or if you have a friend that's your age that could benefit, that maybe is not in school, like, bring them on and let's talk about mental health. And yeah, this is your program. It's their program. We're tired of being like the old people who are trying to, fit a round peg into a square box. What is it? What's the saying?
Yeah, square hole.
Yeah. Square hole. So we want the college students to lead the way and inform us. And hopefully that will help us filter down into our teen programs and younger as well as we move forward, because these are the generations that need it the most and are hopefully going to be the ones to change where we are now.
And are, I think, the most eager to speak authentically about it, and sometimes get shut down. So let's give them the floor.
Give them the microphone.
Yep.
Give them the microphone. Yeah. Again, it's going to be all of us who carry this movement forward. And I've seen an eagerness in that group in particular to, let's just say it. Let's just talk about it. Like, why do we have to keep, dancing around it? Let's just get right to it and do something about it, for goodness sakes. Like, let's go. And I'm with them. Like, yes, tell us what you want to do and let's just do it. So it's exciting. It's exciting. So, plenty of other things coming down the pike. We'll save some of that, some little mystery for the, you can also go on our website and sign up for the newsletter so we can keep in touch and let you know when those new initiatives are coming. But we want to connect more people to the Brave movement, whether you're ready to stand on stage and tell your story, or ready just to be a part of something that will make a change in this world. We can find a place for you, and we're making a place for you come 2022 and beyond.
Yeah. This is by Brave isn't going anywhere. We aren't going anywhere. So we will be here holding the reins and
the microphone, Katie. The microphone. We're holding the microphone.
And yeah, I mean,
It's just a new chapter, that's all. Yep.
we got this.
We didn't talk about how to wrap this up.
We didn't.
That's not in our flow of show. So
You need to get back to work today, so we're probably gonna get
Yeah.
back to work. But it's been, like I said, This Is My Brave will always be a huge part of my life. I will always share the story of This Is My Brave and why I started it. And I will be your biggest cheerleader from the sidelines.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks seems like such
I
not
know.
quite enough, but
Yeah, we'll have our time. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching our special series. We did want to put this out there so everyone knew that this was a planned transition. We're all on board, and it's definitely sad, but there's really important work that needs to continue to be done. So we're here for it.
So I guess we can say happy holidays, right? Because this will come out right before the holidays.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hope
happy
everybody
holidays.
enjoys their holidays this year. There's a lot. And hopefully, there's maybe some normalcy to these holidays that we haven't known for a little bit. So that I hope that there's some connections and families and friends that long coming connections.
Yeah.
So happy holidays, everyone, and stay in touch, follow along. Got a lot
We'll
of
be here.
exciting coming. Yep.
All right.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.